G'day mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jetty. So, it's time to extend the bus. Nope. Yes, it's time to extend the bus a little bit, because today we're going to do two important things. One of them is going to be get some satellites up and launched so we can continue our conquest of the world and get infinite tech up and running. So all these that require white science, they come from space science, which requires us to launch a satellite in our lovely rocket silo. The other thing we're going to be doing this episode is probably getting a Spidertron. I figure a Spidertron. Spidertron sounds like a good idea. So with that said, we're going to run the intro, and I'll see you in a sec. So, with that out of the way, Spidertron's starting to be researched. We need to make a satellite. Now, we did try and set up a automated logistic construction in the previous episode. Where are satellites? But they require solar panels and accumulators. And I forgot, we haven't made any solar panels and any accumulators. So, we need to make solar and accumulators. Nine machines will do us. 9 machines on the other side. We're going to set this side to make solar panels and this side to make accumulators. How long do they take to craft? 10 seconds. They take 10 seconds. Yeah, it should be fairly even. Okay, so we need some basic inputs and then some outputs, and we should be good to go. You guys require iron and batteries. You guys require a couple of items. There, and there. Nope. You guys move over by tile. Cool. Copy, paste. We need 2 belts feeding in for our solar panels, because we need to bring in steel, copper, and... oh, that's the wrong recipe. Yep, steel, copper, and green circuits. And for our accumulators, we just need batteries and iron. So we'll do a couple of quick pastes, get that done. So accumulators first, because they're the easiest. Actually, let's remove that. Let's have one come in from that side, one come in from that side. We'll drag this up. Batteries. This is one of the few spots you're going to put batteries, and you're going to need a few batteries. The other one's going to be iron, which is... we left all the way back there. That seems like a boo-boo. So, solar panels and accumulators. Solar and accumulators are giant batteries. Solar is the most efficient power you will find in Factorio. Okay, it does come with a sort of a catch. It costs a fair bit to build, and it takes up a lot of room, like a lot of room, like a lot of room. That'll do us, and then we'll do batteries. And what other belts do we leave back here? Copper. We're gonna need copper. Not that we have any copper. And green circuits as well. Okay, let's just put in our undergrounds really quick to try and keep things as neat as possible. So, accumulators. Take a couple of iron plate, couple of batteries, really easy to build. They store 5 megajoules worth of power, thanks Spidertron. We'll go back to the atomic bomb, which is the most expensive research you'll find before infinite tech. Anyway, back to accumulators. So accumulators require some iron plates, some batteries, and they store 5 megajoules worth of power. I'm not going to go into what a megajoule is versus a megawatt and a kilowatt and all that sort of stuff. Just know they store power. The solar panels, on the other hand, put out 60 kilowatts worth of power during daytime. During nighttime, they obviously put out 0. Now, they're not affected by pollution because they're magical solar panels that aren't affected by clouds or pollution or smog or biter corpses or biter blood that happens to land on them. They're brilliant. They're magical. The catch is they're expensive. Super expensive for 60 kilowatts worth of power. Actually, over a day-night cycle, it averages out to 42 kilowatts worth of power. So, yes. not terribly efficient is one way of putting it. If we remember back to our good old steam engines we started with, they do 900 kilowatts worth of power compared to one of these doing 60 peak, but realistically around about 42 kilowatts worth of power. So, yeah, you need a lot of solar panels. You need 22 solar panels, roughly, to match one steam engine. And solar panels, which will get built in a second, are actually much larger. So we want green circuits on this belt. Much larger than the footprint of a single steam engine. So we want steel and copper. Steel is right there. We can split that out. Let's bring copper down on this tile. Output priority right. That's awkward. Okay, let's go back a tile. Output priority right. We're going to go through here. And then in that case, we might as well break off the steel there. I think that's right. Can I get a splitter, please? Thank you. No, I want to go back one more tile. One there, one there. Push you back one tile and bring those two together, mush them together, bring them over, and then run them down. And then where does that put me? Okay, so that puts me in line with this line, which I want to avoid. So we're going to slide all that up like that many tiles. Okay, then we can put in our undergrounds. There to there to there. Okay, dump all the excess stuff I have in my inventory, and we're going to have 2 filter inserters. One there, and they're going to both be linked to some passive providers, and we're going to have one of them pick up the accumulators and one of them pick up the solar panels. Now, as I was saying, solar panel, accumulator. Solar panel, pretty big. Pretty big. As you can see, power output is 60 kilowatts of 60 kilowatts. I do have the constant daytime mod on at the moment. If I was to crank up the game speed real quick. Come on. Takes a while to get to nighttime, obviously. That's just heavy cloud cover. I want nighttime. Well, we're getting there. So you see the power the power output is going down, okay, because it's slowly becoming nighttime. It now means this is when the accumulators would kick in, and they would actually drain some of the power out of these battery backup storage systems that we have, being the accumulators, and compensate for the fact that our solar panels are not running, okay? Do I have a blueprint on me? I don't have a blueprint on me, but we're probably not going to make enough in one episode, especially with no copper, to actually worry about trying to get these built this episode. Because we still have a giant copper problem, and at the same time, I cannot put productivity modules in these machines, so we just need enough solar panels and accumulators to get us up and running, and try and get a satellite launched this episode, because that's what I really want. I really want a satellite launched. Run on the brick path, because that would be smart. Where's that satellite build? No, that's that one. Where is that satellite build? Where is that satellite build? Always day, please. There it is. If I dump in those materials, we're still short. We're still very, very short. So I'm going to do the logical thing and run down. Whoop. Yeah, just run down the belt and pick up all the copper that I possibly can, and just kill parts of the base for a second, and then physically dump these into solar panels to get enough solar out that we can launch a rocket with a satellite, because that's what I really, really want to do. Hey, inventory's full. Cool. All you guys get copper. Cool. That should hopefully give us enough, and I have plenty of copper spare left over. Alright. At the same time, we're going to want to have a passive provider come out of here, because as we launch a satellite into space, we're going to come back, we're going to bring back, rather, a 1,000 space sites. So I want to come in here and I want to request a satellite. Just the one. We have one on the way, so we've already built one. Excellent. And... nope, that's an inserter. Where's my satellite? Come on, robots. Where's my satellite? Is that it? That's a satellite. No, don't stop. Don't recharge. Just fly. Okay. Which is going to pop it in there, and we're going to be ready to launch. Now, you can, and I recommend if you want to keep playing, Factorio, you want to make yourself a little mega base, or a mini mega base, or a giant mega base, you're going to need satellites. You're going to need a lot of satellites. You're going to need a lot of space science. You're going to want to have a couple of extra worker robot speeds. You're going to probably want some mining productivity because you're going to get sick of outposting. You're definitely going to need some bigger and better lasers to deal with the behemoth biters that we still, thankfully, haven't had to deal with. 1%. We're at 90% evolution. At 99%, things get bad. You get more behemoths than anything else, and things get really bad. Anyway, we want to tick this box, which will auto-launch the rocket silo whenever there is a satellite in here. As you can see, if I step away just a little bit. Okay, maybe a little bit more. As you can see, it's already ready to deliver another satellite. Okay, so it's ready to fly another satellite over here, which would then top up our silo. As you can see, we also have 1,000 space sites ready to come back out. So we're going to use a stack inserter to empty this as fast as possible, because we do not want to launch another satellite, another rocket silo, another rocket, accidentally with space science still in the rocket silo. So with that done, I want to do a couple of things. So we do remember that these satellites are very expensive, okay? They required low-density structures, they required rocket fuel. We didn't really go over the recipe too much, so let's do that right now. There they are. 100 processing units, 100 low-density structures, 50 rocket fuel, 100 solar panels, and 100 accumulators with 5 radars. So, what I want to do is I want to limit this system. I do not want to produce extra satellites. Now, I can just leave this box as is. They stack in one, so eventually, right, we just end up filling up this box with satellites. What I prefer to do instead is I'd like to make some sort of smart system. So what I want to do is I want to link this fast inserter all the way up to this rocket silo to keep count of how much space science we have in the network. And I can actually click this button, which will link it to the logistics network. Okay, so now it's reading every single passive provider, requester chest, buffer chest, storage chest, all those sorts of things in the network. And this is what it's linked to. This down here in the bottom right hand side, which I'm pointing out with my hand, which obviously you guys can't see, but it's linked to that system. And what I actually want to do is I want to say, hey, if space science is less than 500, then, only then, can this inserter output a satellite. Okay, so I can't do anything about what it stores in here, because it's going to store a certain amount of material. In fact, yep, so we've already got one built, ready to go. And the inserter is sitting there waiting to reload the machine with more crap to launch another one. But we're not going to let it launch another one, because we won't let it output, because we're not spending that space science on anything just yet. Same time, I need to reorganize my labs. I need to organize my labs to bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7th science pack. So we're going to do actually, 6 science packs, 7 science packs. We're going to do this small modification. Let's paste this here so we can see what it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap this to undergrounds, this to undergrounds. We're going to have a straight belt at the back. So I want to swap you to an underground there. And I want to swap you to an underground there. And then I want to put in 2 longhand inserters with 2 short inserters right there and there. Does that look right? Why does that look wrong? Oh, because I've got the power poles and the inserters around the wrong way. So those 2 power poles go there. And then we can run another belt along the back side. Okay? And up here, we're going to put a single stack inserter with yet another power pole. Hang on. We'll find a decent power pole. We're going to put in a request chest. And there's no robot network down here. You, robot, come here. We're going to request in Space Science. Now, Space Science automatically stacks in 2000. It stacks very, very well. It's small. It's compact. I don't want to request in 2000. I'm going to be happy with, hell, 100. And the idea is that's going to come out, that's going to sit on that belt, and this inserter can pick it up, put it on the ground. This inserter can pick it up and put it on the ground. Then this inserter and this inserter are going to grab them off the ground and shove them in the labs. And I just need to repeat this process all the way along, and then we're going to be ready for Space Science. So I need to go from here to here, here to here, here to here, so on and so forth. Now, this is probably not the cleanest science build. Okay, there are definitely more efficient, I guess, space and underground belts and everything, science configurations to get stuff into your labs. But this is a quickly upgradable system, and this is what I liked about it. I could quickly upgrade the system. I need to actually end that belt there. Quickly upgrade the system from one style to the other. At the same time, build those in, put in these power poles, and run those guys across as well, and we're done. Quick and easy as that. And it means all these science packs. Did I ever set up recycling on the science packs? I didn't. Okay, we might set up some recycling on the science packs. So it was a quick and easy way of upgrading from one science, or from 2 science packs to 4 science packs to 6 science packs to 7 science packs. Okay, it was quick and easy to upgrade, and that's why I chose to build the system this way. So whilst we're at it, now we have proper request chests. Let's put in a requester here and a requester here. We want blue science on the right, military on the left. So you're going to request in blue, thank you. You're going to request in military, thank you. We're going to dump all of that into storage. We're going to do the exact same over here with red and green, which is going to be a little bit awkward because you're in the way. You don't actually need to be there now we're up to fast inserters. So we're going to put one there, drag these up. We want green on the left, red on the right. Turns out we've done well and we haven't accidentally put any science into storage. We need to come up here to high tech and I keep forgetting the name. Production and utility. Yeah, that's right. I'm still caught on. It was called high tech for a very, very long time. I probably mentioned that 3 or 4 times by now. So we want yellow on the left, purple on the right, and a decent power pole. You're bringing 29 over, you're bringing 150 something over. Okay, so that does those 2 as well. Copper is still a giant problem. At the same time, we did also unlock a Spidertron, which requires 2 efficiency modules, 4 rocket launchers, 16 rocket control units, 150 low density structures. Okay, so let's start with dumping our copper into something important, like red circuits. Cool. Okay, I need a rocket control unit and radars. So rocket control units are right here. I just need one of those to make a Spidertron remote. Yes. Okay, and then we need a Spidertron itself, which needs 16 rocket control units. Hang on, give me those back. That's 8. That's 16. I need 150 low density structures, which are over here. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're good on that. I need 4 rocket launchers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, we're good on that too. And then we need 2 efficiency module 3s. Now, efficiency modules. Efficiency modules are something we really haven't covered. We did sort of briefly cover it when I made Power Armor Mark II. Efficiency modules are useless. Like, special amounts of useless. Well, that's not entirely true. They're not quite useless. They're just mostly useless. So, efficiency modules. Decreases machine energy consumption. Minimum energy consumption is 20%. If we click on our power, we can see our main power uses are assembly machine 3s. I have a whole bunch of modules in them, and that's forced up their power consumption. Our beacons are giant items that use a crap ton of power no matter what. Our chemical plants also have a crap ton of modules in them, and therefore their power usage is through the roof. And mining drills. Mining drills actually are pretty bad when it comes to energy consumption. They're also pretty bad when it comes to pollution. If we look here, they put out 10 pollution per minute. Your assembly machine 3s only do 2 pollution per minute. Your beacons do 0 pollution. And your chemical plants do 4 pollution. These guys are really, really bad when it comes to pollution. But in saying that, if you put efficiency modules in, you can bring down their energy consumption. At the same time, you can bring down their pollution, which does make a massive difference if you're on a death world. And that's for the Mark 1 modules. The Mark 2 modules, right here, they will bring the power consumption down by 40%. So we go from 30% to 40%, and then finally we have the really, really nice ones, the tier 3s, which halve the energy consumption. Where's my closest miner? We've dug out all our home ore. It's that copper to our right. Hang on, let's just set this process up. Where are request chests? Request chest, request chest, request chest. There, request, power pole. Dump in those guys, and we'll come back to you in just a second. Actually, I want... Give me those back. You can have half. Okay, now we've made some sort of agreement with that machine. Let's go look at a miner. 2 miners that are definitely working side by side. Oh, look at all these dead miners. Okay, so this guy and this guy, we can see they both are consuming 90 kilowatts worth of power each, and they're both outputting 10 pollution per second. If I put in 1 module, we can see that that has dropped the pollution down to 7 per minute, and also dropped down the energy consumption down to 63 kilowatts. If I put in all 3 of them, being 30, 30, 30, okay, so that brings us down to the absolute minimum being minus 80%. We're only using 18 kilowatts for this particular miner, and it's only doing a pollution of 2 rather than a pollution of 10. So if you're on a death world, if you're having problems with biters, if you have a surplus of red and green circuits, which I highly doubt you do, efficiency module 1s are great. Efficiency module 2s are useless because most things have 2 slots at least, and 2 slots will bring the energy consumption down to the minimum being 20%. Most things have 3 or more slots, so a efficiency module 1 works great. The efficiency module 3s are even more useless because they just halve the energy consumption, and for the cost of 1 of these, you've had to make 5 of these, and for the cost of the 5 of those, you had to make 20 of these. So you could have blanketed 20 machines or done 1 machine at half energy consumption. So, like I said, efficiency modules, absolutely useless. Won't slow down the machine, won't do anything, will just cut down its pollution and also cut down its energy consumption. Again, like I said, death world, they make sense. They make sense on a death world purely because you're going to cut down your pollution. At the same time, you're going to cut down on your energy consumption, which will cut down how much probably coal you're burning off to create power. Even if we go to, we're now on nuclear power, even if I go to one of these guys, these are consuming, it doesn't actually say what their pollution output is. That's interesting. But if I turn that on, we can see by the red that it's a fair bit. These guys, pollution 30 per minute, so your boilers could produce a whole heap. Maybe nuclear reactors don't actually produce pollution. Output steam, health, consumption. Maybe they don't output pollution. I'm yet to find a base that happens to be pollution free, but yeah, all saying everything in and done and said. Yeah, efficiency module's pretty damn useless. But we need two efficiency module 3s to make ourselves a Spidertron, which is something I really want to make and really want to play with. So we're definitely going to upgrade these. This will give us our first module. What do you need? You have everything you need. What do you need? You need more of that. What do you need? Just go faster. Okay. To go faster, we're going to put down a second machine, which I'll hand feed with whatever you want. So it's 1 down. So I need 2 more. I need you to make 1. Nope. I need you to make 1. And then... So I need both these to make 1 more, and then we should be good. 3, 4. Done. Cancel! Okay. That should be the last one. Cancel that construction. And cancel that construction. And you should be done in just a second. And my inventory has so much crap in it. But that's okay, because we're going to make ourselves a Spidertron. I don't have beacons on me. Oh, there's a beacon right there. If ever impatient, apply beacons. Nope, never mind. It's finished. Okay, so we're going to pick that up. We now have 2 efficiency module 2s, 16 rocket control units, 1 raw fish, I hope. Yes. 150 low density structures, 4 rocket launchers. I've already got 2 portable fusion reactors. I have 4 lots of legs, and I have 2 radar. We're going to click the button and wait ourselves 10 seconds, and we're going to have a brand new Spidertron. Now, Spidertrons are great. Spidertrons are awesome. Spidertrons go where Spidertrons want, and we pop them down here. Now, you might notice they look a little bit funky. Spidertrons are different to other vehicles in the game. They're different for a couple of reasons. One, we can definitely change the color. Obviously, I'm red. Obviously, Spidertron needs to be red as well. On top of that, he fires rockets. So if I give him some rockets, he is definitely going to be formidable in battle. The other big difference is he has an equipment grid, much like your personal armor has a grid itself. So in our Spidertron grid, we can put in some little perks to make him a little bit more powerful, like a portable fusion reactor, so we can charge our legs that we're going to put in our Spidertron. At the same time, I think I want to give him some shields. Yes, let's give him some shields. You can have some shields. I'd love it if you had some batteries, so you could charge up, you know, from your fusion reactor, charge up the batteries to run the shields. Yeah, his shields are slowly going up. On top of that, like every other vehicle, you can actually press enter and jump in him. The other big difference, if I take that off my toolbar and put that on instead, is I can pick up the remote, click on my Spidertron, and then I can order my Spidertron around. And because he's got those leg upgrades, he moves significantly faster than your stock Spidertron. Actually, if we take off the legs real quick, we can see that he walks about as well as a spider does. You know, a little bit slower around the edges, has a little bit of a lazy leg every time that just sticks out sideways for no reason whatsoever, but he does get the job done. On top of that, he does get pushed around a little bit by belts, so you have been warned. But if we give him 3 extra sets of legs, he then zips around like you would not believe. The other big important thing about a Spidertron is cliffs. That's what I want. Cliffs. Don't bother him. He just wanders up and down cliffs like he doesn't care. He also is quite unique when it comes to water. steps a certain amount across a certain larger water masses. He just wanders across. So he is very, very maneuverable. The catch is he does cost raw fish. So you might have noticed during this game I've been collecting fish wherever we can see them. There's some more fish. More fish. More fish. More fish. Oh, and his remote makes him very powerful. He also has a limit of the path finding. If I tell him to go this side of the lake, he's gonna try his absolute hardest to go to that side of the lake and break all amounts of physics. Yes. How about you come here instead? Oh, he made the jump. There you go. Okay. Yeah, Spidertron does what a Spidertron does. Okay, so we're going to collect some fish. We're going to throw them in our Spidertron. The other thing I do want to throw in my friendly neighborhood Spidertron is I want to throw in belt immunity, because if we wander back down to our bus and we stand on our bus, we can see our legs do move around a certain amount. If I put in the belt immunity, same as I have in my legs, then suddenly belts don't affect us, which gives us one little square free, which obviously means I want to request in one of those silly solar panels I made early game. Yeah, just one, please. And that can go in there as well. So, the other cute thing about Spidertron is if you happen to be sitting in the Spidertron and you have requests open for things like rockets, they're automatically going to get thrown into the Spidertron. That's what I wanted. One solar panel there. Which means he can recharge his batteries slowly. He's got shields. And I want rockets. Rockets are... We keep the rocket supply over here. We're going to go pick up some rockets. Because, like, he does have combat abilities. So, obviously, we need to test out the combat abilities of our friendly neighborhood Spidertron. As you might also notice, he just walks across everything in the base. Not a care in the world. So, yes, if you have requests open and for things like rockets that can go directly into his backpack, rocket launcher, whatever you want to call it, they'll go straight in there. Same time, if you pick up things like rockets, they'll automatically go in there as well. On top of that, he has a trunk, and most importantly, I guess... Let's just jump out for a second. If I tell him to go to this bit of black nothingness, he'll happily wander over there at the same time because... Oh, there's a closer one. Closer one. We can send him down here instead. And he'll, because he has a radar built in, happily explore that area for us. On top of that, if I happen to put a roboport in him instead, and some robots, and gave him some materials in his trunk, I could send him out on an expedition to build us a giant long straight line of train track, or even a whole outpost like this oil outpost I had to build, or remember how to come out here and put down 4 signals? I could have just ghosted those down and let the Robotron go deal with it. Yes. Speaking of things that I need to ghost down, you guys are probably going to end up with problems any minute now if we don't improve things. So, Spidertron, very, very powerful. What makes a Spidertron more powerful is if he has a driver. A driver that has 13 shoulders, and on his 13 shoulders he's put 13 personal laser defenses, and then he goes out and says hi to the neighbors. That makes this Spidertron super, super powerful. So... We'll just... Where's the closest spider base? Actually, there's those worms that have been bugging us for a long time. Let's go to here. And we'll just go wandering across the base. Wandering across the trains. You're completely immune to trains now because you're above them. Very, very handy for those engineers that may have been lost in the battle versus the trains. But yes, if I send a Spidertron... Hang on. Auto target with and without gunner. Yes. Okay, cool. If I send a Spidertron out here to say hello to these friendly worms, he's gonna... Thanks, research! He's gonna deal with them quite efficiently. Same as if I send him across this forest. We all remember what it was like doing combat in a forest and trying to walk across the forest. If I send him over here, he will, take care of problems. Because he has some shields, he hasn't taken any damage yet. In fact, if we send him just across this spider base as well, he can just sort of deal with things as he goes. Yeah. Like, he hasn't taken any damage still. Like, just 3 shields, which is 450 hit points extra, has been enough so far to deal with most of these problems. But if you're ever unsure and you think that maybe your biter base is a little bit larger than mine, you need a little bit of extra oomph, you can always put a player in there as well. And when you put a player in there as well, like, it doesn't give you any extra guns or anything, apart from your 13 shoulders of lasers. And in fact, probably more if I took out my roboports. But if I was to jump back inside our friendly neighborhood spider, and we were to just go pop over here and say hi to the neighbors, the lasers can definitely help. Definitely help. Oh, it's all dead. Yep. Don't forget, anything that spits at you predicts where you're going to be before you get there. So if you have a player in control that sort of walks around a little bit all over the place, you can definitely take less damage. Yep. Not to mention, we can always turn auto-targeting with gunner off. So then, if I hold down space, it fires rockets. Otherwise, it doesn't fire rockets. And I can still wander through a base fairly efficiently with just personal laser defense, because that's a lot of lasers. It's 13 lasers. It's pretty much instant kill for anything that walks within our personal laser defense range. Yeah, everything just goes boom. And we can always press spacebar. You know, if ever in doubt, press spacebar and watch things go away. So, this is your friendly neighborhood Spidertron. Very handy. Ooh, that green one's a behemoth. Oh, that green one's also a behemoth. Perfect opportunity to talk about these guys. So, behemoths. Big biter. Let's slow the game speed right the way down so stop moving. Big biter. 375 hit points. Behemoth biter. 3,000 hit points. You also know the physical resistances also go up for both explosive and physical damage. So, yeah. At the same time, where's a spitter? Really? The only spitter in the base is a behemoth? Big biter. Big biter. Yeah, the only spitter in the base is a behemoth. That doesn't help me. I'm trying to get an example here. No, they're all definitely biters. Okay. So, 3,000 hit points is a little bit harder pill to swallow. As you can see, it definitely took a second for the lasers to bleed through. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we get a big one. I want a behemoth one now. It's only a 3% chance. It's very low. So yeah, behemoths are where you'll suddenly find your lasers probably don't keep up nearly as well as they used to. Along with your lasers around your outside walls. Your rockets will still do a wonderful job. If we turn those on, they'll still definitely take care of most problems. That's behemoth. No, it's just a biter. I want a spitter. Yeah, so wonderful. Spidertrons are wonderful at clearing out some of the natives. Here we go. So, slow down the game speed. So, a normal big spitter, 200 hit points. Okay, 1 acid damage, lifetime 32 seconds, duration, applies the acid effect with a minus 40% movement speed, minus 40% vehicle speed, and it does 130 acid damage per second with an area effect size of 1.35, blah, 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 blah. These guys, 1,500 hit points, okay? Same time, we have a minus 30% movement speed and vehicle speed compared to the minus 40. I'm assuming that's worse. I'm assuming the lower it is, the worse it is. Because that's a big worm compared to a medium worm at 50%, 40%. Small worm, 60%. Yeah, it must be a lower number, the worse it is. So yeah, minus 30%, or 30%, whatever. Actually, it's probably going to cut you down to 30% of normal movement speed. That's what it's probably referring to. So it's going to slow you down to 30% of normal movement speed, which means all your legs suddenly are worth nothing. At the same time, that acid damage is 360 per second compared to the original of 130. And where are we? Air effect size is 1.75, up from 1.35, along with 60 acid damage. Behemoth spitters are dangerous. They're the things that are going to start taking out your lasers left, right, and center. The biters, generally on your walls, they have to get close enough to your walls to eat through your walls, or they're actually big enough they can reach over your walls. You have been warned. They can actually reach over the front wall and start attacking the rear wall. But the spitters are going to sit back out here at max range, whilst the biters are in here being tanks, soaking up hit points, and take out your lasers repeatedly. So, yes, at the point you start seeing green biters, you're probably in trouble. Spidertron still solves problems, okay? No arguments there. So, this is our Spidertron. This is our Spidertron up and running. We want to go back and look at our labs because I'd like to do a research. The first research I'm actually going to do, and it's normally the first research I always do, is worker robot speed 6 because it adds another 65% to the robot's moving speed, and it costs 1,000 space science. Our first satellite launched gave us 1,000 space science. It also means that because we have an extra, what's our productivity? 12%. It means that we're only going to use 800 packs, 900 packs, whatever it happens to be. So we are going to have a few packs left over, and we're going to have to play with those packs in the next episode, where I guess the only other thing we need to really show off are the nukes. Yeah, that's really the only thing I haven't covered that I really want to cover before we call the series done and dusted. So yeah, nukes in the next episode. We've got the Spidertron, we've got the artillery, we've cut off that power, we've cut off... Nope, I never got around to cutting off that power. We have been running on 2 lots of nuclear reactors for forever without an issue. We haven't really stressed out our power yet. Obviously, more modules would definitely help with that process, but they're all things for future episodes. With all that said, this is where I'm going to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying, and I'm going to see you in tomorrow's episode where we play with some nukes. Anyway, all that said, we're out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.